Oh, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is having a good Tuesday. Yes, everyone's week is going well. Everyone's week is continuing to be well. What I probably should say. Just make sure I'm in position to keep going today. I think I'm all good. Yeah, I hope everyone's day is going good. Everyone is enjoying their week. I bought another thing this morning. Bring me a step closer to finishing my Game Boy setup, my GameCube setup even. Step closer to that being done, so that should arrive tomorrow because I paid for expedited shipping, which is good. And then yeah, it's all go at the minute. The only problem is that came across a minor problem with the GameCube, the last GameCube that I'm waiting for, is that it's Golden Week in Japan this week, which means until the end of the week, not a lot is going to get done. So I don't think my stuff's getting into the post, and then, you know, nothing's going to get shipped until after this week is over. So kind of stuck on that part, but it is what it is. Well, yeah, a bit longer of a stream today, starting a little bit earlier. I'm going to try and get 150 Tepig resets done. Hopefully also potentially find Palkia. That would be nice. Two females back to back. Good start off. Get the Palkia going. No nickname. Ooh, 3 females back to back. If this next one is a female, hopefully it will be a shiny. I don't think it is. I don't think this one's going to be a female. No nickname, let's see. This will be number 4 in a row if it is female. No, damn. If it was shiny though, that would have been better. Yep, the yawns. The yawns are really bad. Level time. No. Not going good. Keep the Tepig dream alive. No nickname needed. Just a shiny. I might need to put a jumper on soon. It's been quite warm today. However, in the evening it does seem to be chilling down a bit. God, I keep wishful thinking. Keeping the dream alive. No nickname for the Tepig. I need to look in the nicknaming situation. Let's get the restarts going. I'm really not feeling like... I really feel like... I really feel like I need more ZA info. When I feel like we should be getting close to getting a release date and we just haven't yet. It's a little bit worrying. Makes me think they're going to delay it a bit. No nickname. No females since those few big jumps. Goodness, the yawns. No nickname needed. Don't need that. Goodness, the yawns. It's bad. It is bad. I was feeling so good this morning as well. Funny enough, when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you end up being absolutely exhausted come the evening. Oh man, I missed 12-12. Missed 12-12. I mean, it's not like there was a shiny on 12-12 anyway. Email. Ooh, not a shiny. Still got a chain of 4 to beat. We've had 2 3s, but no chain of 4 since that first one. No nickname. No, not a female. Yeah, I think the aim for today is to 150 Tepig resets, which will take me to 350. Thursday will then take me to 1500. That would be nice. No, wrong button. Yeah, I'm just thinking, if only there was an easier way to hunt for these Pokemon without having to spend all this time dual hunting. The only thing that immediately comes to mind is obviously DAs for Palkia. And obviously I could do Tepig in Scarlet and Violet. But the problem is with Scarlet and Violet is I can't play through these old games with them. Spam A at the beginning. Meet all the Pokemon. No shiny, that is fine. I can live with that. I can live with no shiny. Definitely gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. Hey Medi, how you doing? You're having a good Tuesday. Your week is going well. Yeah, I've been good. Been very good. Been enjoying it. Oh. Stretchy time. But yeah, need to finish. Oh, actually, that mod is just a drop-in, so I do need to do some adjustment to the shell, but that should be good. I should be able to get that done tomorrow. Do that mod tomorrow morning, and then I shouldn't have a lot left to do. I'm hoping that my post from Australia will get here before the bank holiday. I don't know where it is actually. Has it made any progress today? If I can find the email. Oh no, they've got it. It's 2 kg post. So it might be here pretty quickly. At least that's my backwards thinking hope, is that it should be here quite quickly, but The other thing could possibly be... I mean, I need to get some more. I need to get some more of those, so I need to wait and spend even more money on it. Although the good thing is, tomorrow is payday, so that gives me a little bit of wiggle room. Not much, but enough. Enough of a wiggle room. Oh, female, damn. Beginning of the stream, we did quite good. 3 females back to back. I would really like to get Palkia shiny today. I mean, I think that every day. Every day I'd like to get one of the Pokemon that I'm hunting to be shiny. The only thing is that I think I would really do like... I mean, I'd also like Tepig to be shiny. Oh. One female. That would be the ideal situation. In my opinion, the dream shiny for Tepig is a female shiny. That would be amazing. That would be ideal. Get the resets going. Hey, JD. You bar none have the cutest avatar. Oh. I was like, bar none? Who the hell is bar none? Who on earth is bar none? And why is... What? My brain is not that operable today. Well, I can't take credit for it. It isn't my... It's my idea, but not my artwork. Which is, you know, good, because it means I can't take credit for it. But how are you doing, JDX? Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend was good. Your week is going well. Yeah, brain no work sometimes. I mean, I want to blame it on exhaustion, but you know, it's an easy thing to blame it on. Just trying to get Kecleon to shine. Ooh, good luck. How's it going? Have you been doing it long? That's the thing. That's the problem. Is that it is rough to get. Definitely rough to get the shinies that you want. Oh wait, when you're hunting it, somewhat around 300 encounters. Oh, you're scope hunting. Oh, I've never done that method before. Arguably, there's a lot of shiny hunting methods that I haven't done. What does that entail, and what are the odds? Because I'm always interested in learning the odds. 300 times 3? It's what, 900? The first Kecleon that wasn't shiny. Oh, 2 good stats. Yeah, you can't. Again, I'm a sucker for. Well, no. I'd like to think I'm a snob when it comes to doing like collecting and things like that, but I'm really not. I have never gone into Pokemon worrying too much about the like too much worrying about the stats and things like that. It has never been a concern. Green Evan Scope farm to encounter. Ah, I see. Yeah, see it. Lots of shiny hunting methods that I've never done before. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting my last GameCube, because then I can quad hunt. Dual hunting is not enough for me. I need to quad hunt. Quad hunting, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be different as well. I feel like that's gonna take a lot more of my mental capacity. I feel like I struggle sometimes doing 2. I'm really going to struggle doing 4. Ooh, that's the only other thing I need to sort out, is I need to buy those. I need to mod the last ones. Oh, goodness. But no, I've never done Devon Scope hunting. Which is interesting. So are the odds then 1 in 900, given that you've got 3 Devon Scopes, or is it 1 in 300, but because you have 3 of them, you've done 900 encounters? I've never quite, well, I didn't know that was a hunting method until like 10 minutes ago. But I might have to look into it. Well, if you want Kecleon, it is. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. Nothing else special about it. I mean, it's a Kecleon. Special enough, right? Arguably, there is also nothing stopping you from hunting it in newer games with slightly better odds. But, you know, well, sorry, it's not even slightly better odds, is it? It would be worse odds. Just a common static reset. Yeah, so it's very much similar to Palkia, but you get a higher odds per check. Right, like you get 3 rolls per check. You don't like the participation trophy mindset of the newest shiny hunts. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that it's kind of why I'm hunting in a few of the older games. Is that I also agree. I prefer them to be rarer or more unique. You know, which is why I'm really happy that I got a shiny female Chikorita at full odds, because it's a shiny in a 1 in 8,192 game, and it's also a female, meaning it's rarer than not. It's kind of why I'm hoping that if I do get shiny Tepig, that it is female. I know in all likelihood it's going to end up being male, but I can dream. You know, I can dream at getting a full odds one. Full odds female. Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not happy that I got Chikorita, because I was just doing them random, and I was just like, I'll just take whatever the first one I get shiny is, and it just so happened to be Chikorita. And I was like, oh no. But I was like, I gotta use it. I can't not use it. It's a shiny, and it's female. If it was male, I might have been more like upset about it and been like, oh, you know, I don't really want it. But because it was a female, I was like, I know I've got to use it. And then I got also relatively lucky, and I got a shiny Hoot under odds as well. But yeah, in the Sapphire game, I think the only place you find Kecleon is before the gym, isn't it? It's blocking the path. I'll be completely honest. I didn't realize that could be shiny. I had no clue it could be shiny. Because you're in the, if memory serves. Oh, you can hunt it with the scope after the gym as well. There you go. Proves how much I know. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I need to go and open my door in a minute. We'll do a reset, and then I'll quickly open the door. Open my door. But yeah, I did not realize that you could hunt for it. Again, arguably, I've not done a lot of hunting for specific Pokemon, but it might be that in the future I go back and do some of those hunts. Just for the sake of it. Alright, just have to quickly open my door just in case the dog needs me for anything. Really, really looking forward to getting this. I've not had the urge to watch either of the Avatar things. And I know I'm sure that is blasphemy to people who really enjoy it, but I've never had the urge to watch either show. Although that being said, I do know that they are doing a new one. I think they announced it a while ago that they were doing a new Avatar inspired thing in that world. Yeah, it's never been, I feel like I was a bit late for Korra. And at the time that Avatar was coming out, I think I wasn't interested in that kind of genre of things, so it just kind of completely went past me. I mean, you gotta look forward to it. When a show is being, again, I'm aware that people weren't happy with The Legend of Korra and Korra as an Avatar character, but what female? But I know that you were never going to make everyone happy. Again, I'm more speaking of the vocal minority, potentially. The people that go online and scream, "Oh, it was bad. It was the worst Avatar," blah blah blah. So I've seen those kind of videos. But, having not watched the show, I feel like I can't give an opinion on it because, again, it's not my type of thing, unfortunately. And I think you were always going to have a problem in that world when it was kind of set post the first show with characters from the first show still in it. It's like, oh, here are some characters from the first one, and it's kind of a way that they were like trying to mix it all, kind of combine the two. But I feel like, in my opinion, if you were going to do something like that, you should have left more time between the two shows. Oh, it was something like that made people unhappy. Oh. Yeah, it's not my place because I've not watched the whole show, so I feel like I don't have a dog in this conversation. But I've also never felt the urge to watch it. It's one of those things. Right. How are we doing? 42, yeah, we're still doing good. Still doing good pace-wise. Enough for me to take a little break at some point. I think I might have to put a jumper on. I need more ZA info. That's what I need. We've had more Mario Kart info. Although arguably Mario Kart is launching in, what, a month and 6 days. Like 35, 37 days away. I mean, we did get a little bit more info, but, you know, I'd like a release date so I know when to book a week off of work. I need a week off work so I can play ZA. I think I've still got holiday days left as well, so that's good. I don't know how many I've got though. I'll have to check. But yeah, I might try and get the week off. Although I think it might come out towards the end of the week. Like a Thursday or a Friday. So I might just take a couple of days off that week and have a long weekend. Wonder if it would be worth doing a guess for the nature of Tepig when it eventually shines. I think I'm going to say, oh god, I want to say something like docile or I like the idea of sassy. But yeah, need more of that. The other thing I need to get in on watching possibly is the Horizon, the new anime. I say the new anime, it's what, been out for like 2 years now. It's been airing like 2 years. I'm just that slow on the uptake. I think it's been like has it really been like 2 years? No, year and a half. I think it's a year and a half. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. I've been meaning to, and I keep going, maybe. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll get into it. There's definitely been a lot of episodes. I think there's like almost 100 episodes out now. I'm looking for that brighter pink. Give me the brighter pink. God, stinging nettles from this weekend are still... I laid down in stinging nettles this weekend, and it's still irritating me. Like, my arm is still itching. God, it sucks. And it's not all the time either. It's like a little bit of the time. Yeah, it goes from like a purple to a pink. No nickname. Oh, that's 2 back-to-back females. Ooh, are we gonna hit 3? Let us see if we hit 3. Oh, need to keep my stretches going. Yes, we got 100 more resets on Tepig to do today as the goal. And Palkia, we're just gonna go for as many as I can do within the same amount of time. I don't know what I started on today. What did we start on? So we've done 60 resets. 60 resets for Palkia in the span of doing 51 for Tepig. Goes to show you that Palkia is just ever so slightly quicker. I think the face also becomes slightly pinker as well, doesn't it? I closed down the tab that I had opened specifically for Palkia, but I don't think I need it. Yeah, we're doing good though. I haven't accidentally run into a shiny yet. I haven't accidentally run away from a shiny yet. The problem is, for Tepig, I'm looking at the snout. And the problem with I'm looking at the skin above the snout. And the problem with that is that looks kind of the same color as it does on the shiny. A little bit. It's not exact, but it does look kind of like it. And that does worry me. But yeah, very chill. Very chill, very easy. Yeah, see, his snout looks kind of golden. It's not exactly golden. Oh, it is more of a light yellow. But in his shiny form, it's gold. Yeah, see the snout, I'm pointing like you can see where I'm pointing. The snout looks kind of similar. Not exactly, but close enough that it is a bit of a thing. Oh, in his hands. I'm looking for his gloves. Right, an hour in, doing good. Female? Nope. Shiny? No. Neither shinies. The one thing I do like about the soft resetting in the older games is apart from the animation, it does load up quicker. I think maybe I should be looking at its tail. I think Tepig's tail is going to be the easiest giveaway. Because it is bright pink. Yeah, because I think the tail here is not... It's just a regular colour, right? It's red, okay. Yeah, so I think I'd notice that if it was bright pink. Famous last words, I'm sure. Okay, no, maybe not. Maybe I should just look for the body. I was thinking, I should be able to spot it, and then I'm looking at it on the screen, and I'm like, actually, that is quite small. Maybe I wouldn't be able to tell. Who will be my partner, I wonder? Palkia, hopefully. No nickname. Hey Zilla. Yeah, it's going good. Hope your Tuesday's going well. Your week is off to a good start. But it's going good. The resets are definitely going. Do. Yeah, we're gonna go to the 1,350 Tepig resets today. And then tomorrow... No, Thursday we'll be getting to 1,500 Tepig resets. Which will be good. Can't complain, doing some Mewtwo DAs, hoping for a miracle. Oh man, Mewtwo. Shiny Mewtwo. I think I might try and hunt for a shiny Mewtwo in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Just trying to think of what other games you could shiny hunt them in, but I definitely think that is one of the more easier ones. Hey Mercury, it's going good. Hope your week is going well. Hope you're doing good. Hope music is treating you good as always. It's going good though. I'm still surviving. Double check. No Tepig, no Palkia. Seems to be the way that it is going. Okay, we're staying ahead of the minute curve, which is good. Superfly by Curtis Mayfield. Star Wars Samba. Not heard that in the SWAT theme. You can't go wrong with a SWAT theme. You cannot go wrong with a SWAT theme. But I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing good as usual. No. No. Wrong button. Oh yeah, I want to double check. Have I received any update for that parcel? Order confirmed. Invoice shipment. Track package. Oh yeah. Yeah, they got it. It should be here tomorrow, which is good. So I think it's one of your favorites. Is it really? Oh, that's not bad. It's not a bad one to have as your favorite. As any DJ, you'd have to start and end the party with a bang. That is also true. These are the 70s parties with the song. I understand why Mercury. It is a certified banger. It's definitely one that sticks in your head though. I did, Zilla. I mean, I pre-ordered it, without the risk of US tariffs or anything like that. So I got it at closer to intended price. Is what I will say. Again, luckily I have the disposable funds to do it. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have got it just yet. But they do reckon it's on track to outsell the Switch. It's looking like it's on track to be one of the most successful console launches in history, which is just insane to think about. Even with the price and things like that. It hurts your soul. What? People buying something that they want with money that they have? Obviously, everyone's entitled to do their own thing and have their own opinion, but, the current demand from what we've seen reckons that people still are happy with it at this price. Because it's on track to be one of the most successful console launches in history. I think in Japan alone, the Switch was like 2 million pre-orders before it went live. The Switch 2 is already up to 6 million. So, and they've already said they can't support everyone who's trying to pre-order it at launch. So they're gonna have supply issues for a while, definitely. Also, Zilla, they shouldn't up the price. If you've pre-ordered and locked it in, they shouldn't increase the price. I don't know what the consumer protections and stuff like that is, but I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to up the price if you've already ordered it at that price. The price could go up for people who haven't ordered it yet, who are like, oh, I'm going to wait a little while. But if you've already locked in an order, they shouldn't put the price up. I think that's the reason why you find that with Prismatic Evolutions, they were cancelling pre-orders and then relisting them at a higher price, because they thought it was better for them to cancel the pre-order, refund them the money, and net the profit. I mean, that's your prerogative, JD. I'm gonna say, don't get me wrong, I'm exactly the same with Ubisoft. I'm not a massive fan of Ubisoft. They've sunlit The Crew, and you can't physically play that anymore. But some people are absolutely swear on it. I don't think it's loyalty. Again, the price of everything has gone up, right? And the console, I think, is cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I was mentally prepared to pay. I was mentally prepared to pay a bit more for the console. A bit more in line with the Series X and PS5. And it still came in, I think, just slightly under those. So I was kind of okay with the price. But again, I for one understand what Nintendo are doing with the game prices. The only thing that worries me is the Pokemon games. If ZA does cost $80, on launch, I'm going to be more apprehensive to get it, because Scarlet and Violet haven't been complete games. the recent Pokemon games have not been amazing quality for the money that they've asking for them. Mario Kart, I'm okay paying more for Mario Kart because Mario Kart is kind of a staple. And, yes, you do get DLC, but they're, for the most part, a finished game on launch. Yes, they do have DLC later down the line, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, Pokemon, I'm not one for sailing the seas myself. But the problem is the game industry in and of itself won't survive if everyone sails the 7 seas. And it very much becomes a situation where we've seen that companies have had to shut down because they've not had the funding. Because the game doesn't perform well, but they've put a lot of work into it. And I'm not blaming, the pirates, but, it is a factor. But what I'm saying is, I don't think Nintendo is going to have problems. Just looking at the demand, just base demand, I think Nintendo's going to be fine. I do think the game prices did need to go up, but to the extent that they have gone up, it was definitely a sharp increase. But it is a situation. Either way, GTA 6 is probably going to be a higher price just off the bat. And, your view might be different on that. It might be like, oh, well, it's GTA 6, it's worth the money. GTA 5 was such a good game, blah, blah, blah. But, it's then, why is it okay for one place but not another place? Oh, yeah, for ZA. Yeah. Never pre-ordered anything. Really, Zilla, that's impressive, because I've pre-ordered a lot of stuff. Most of them, funny enough, are Pokemon, and I really do find that it's not amazing. I kind of regretted it the last few games. It should always be $50 on release. I personally think, JD, that's very short-sighted. My opinion on it is, over the last 20 years, where games have kind of been $50, $60 on release, that unless you're a bankrolled by a mega company, it is a bit rough. And you can find games that aren't, that price, but, you're paying for indie devs. AAA games, I think the problem with that is that they're a team of, let's say, 300 people. Inflation, cost of living, just over the last few years, not let's say pre-COVID, had been going up. But it's not the cartridge that's the problem. It's the wages of paying the people. It's the cost of the building that they need to rent out for the team. It's the cost of wages. It's the cost of computer components. It's everything, right? I will say that is one thing I really am not liking about the Switch 2, is that they're heavily pushing you to not physically own the game. My personal way of thinking is, I prefer to physically have a physical copy of the game, because Nintendo have been, if they axe Switch Online, which they could do in 10 years' time, you lose access to the games you don't have downloaded. But obviously the counter to that is I'm on PC and I have, a few hundred games on PC. I've never owned a game on my computer. Because technically you don't own them, you lease them. But again, I feel like that's why the physical prices of a lot of the older games have gone up in value, is because people are going, actually, this is a good scapegoat for the future. The problem is with Sony is that they're remastering games that have already been remastered. So, at least where, we've got Oblivion remastered, it took a few years between, well, it was 19 years or something like that? Whereas, it's not amazing. The problem with those is, though, JD, is that Microsoft is a mega company, mega corporation. They don't need the money from games. Games isn't their bottom line. Also, to a degree, Sony isn't. Steam take 30% off the money of each game. So, let's say a game costs $60. 30% of that is going to... No, wrong one. Obviously, 30% of that goes to Steam, not the dev. So... Okay, yes. A game price increases Steam's cut, as well as it does, everything else. I'm not saying that is the solution. And obviously, Epic seems to think that they have the solution of, we'll only take a small amount of, we'll only take a small cut. But no, I understand where you're coming from. I understand in an ideal world, all game prices will be exactly the same. But I feel like that's not fair to the amount of work that the dev team puts into it. Because again, GTA 5, yes, GTA 5 was... I pressed the button again and I didn't mean to. It's fine, we'll leave it. GTA 5 was, $50, $60 on release, but they put a huge amount of work into that. GTA 6 is going to be about the same. Oh no, I am aware that most of it isn't going to the devs. It goes to the companies that hire the devs. I'm not saying that, the devs get all this money unless they're indie devs, right? So, but indie devs also don't charge $50 for their games. But it's the same with any company, right? You buy a bottle of Coke, most of the money isn't going to the people who make the bottle of Coke, it's going to Coca-Cola, the company. The people who make the bread in the supermarket ups the prices. The farmers who make the wheat aren't getting the bread. But no, again, the thing with the game price increases going is that the cost of living has gone up, so the studio's overhead has gone up. That's why they're increasing the price of the games. It's not a situation where I'm saying, oh, they're doing it to pay the devs a fair way. You can't think like that, because that's not what's going on, right? They're 100% thinking of the studio's bottom line. You'd be naive to think that the devs are getting any share of it. It 100% at the end of the day is the studio's bottom line. That's all, Nintendo aren't doing it out of the kindness of their own heart. It is just that over the last 10 years, Nintendo's overheads have gone up. So they've gone, we need to make more money. And the easiest way to do that is to increase the price of games. But the problem is, right? The problem I have with it, I also will say I don't condone piracy. I think it is, the industry couldn't exist if everyone pirated. But again, I feel like it was going to happen at some point. I think Nintendo are taking the hit, but the whole industry was kind of getting to a point where I vaguely remember hearing a few years ago that like people were like, oh, game prices are going to need to increase soon because for whatever reason. I can't remember the exact thing, but I vaguely remember hearing something about it a few years ago. But the problem with that, JD, is if everyone will swap to piracy, there'd be no more Nintendo, there'd be no more Sony. So then you're just laying more people off and more people off. Oh no, 100%. Piracy is a service issue. I mean, it's an awesome thing if you think about it as, oh, I'm a consumer. If they don't exist anymore, that's good. But it's a problem when you think of they hire hundreds of thousands of people. Then that's hundreds of thousands of people without jobs. That's 100, yeah, it's not amazing. But I do think I don't like Nintendo trying to push people to an online only kind of game service. I think that's not amazing. I definitely think that the last few years also has kind of propped the gaming industry quite high. Like there was a huge influx during COVID of money because a lot of people, were at home more, couldn't go out. So kind of 5-6 years ago, we saw a huge boom in, record-breaking revenue. And I think now they're kind of going, it's kind of like waning off a bit. But again, the biggest power you have as a consumer is exactly what you're doing, JD, You're putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak. You're deciding, I don't support these practices, so I'm not going to partake. I do the same with Ubisoft. I don't buy Ubisoft anymore because I don't like the way that the company has gone. I don't like the games, I think the games aren't amazing. I think, it's just not been amazing. And, look at Ubisoft. Ubisoft is suffering. Or was suffering. I don't know how well Shadows did. But I don't think it's been enough to keep them kind of propped up. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works. But, I feel like... Not exactly. But I feel like you're kind of... No, it's not the right way of thinking. Again, I'm just saying I've done it. I've pre-ordered it. I understand why people don't want to. I understand why people aren't willing to pay the price. But for me, I have bought it. I'm probably not going to buy every single game that comes out because, again, if they're upping the price, I'm not going to want to. But, again, it's, if I don't want to play a game, I won't play a game. I don't want to buy a game, I won't buy a game. I also don't think, for the most part, that they're going to change their ways because Nintendo aren't likely going to go bust anytime soon. Oh no, I 100% I do prefer owning official hardware. Again, it's kind of why I've got 4 GameCubes. And again, I have official hardware, but they are modded. So I can play any game I want to play on them. You know, I don't need to... You know, I don't need to physically own them. If I don't want to. You know. But, you know, again, I am much one of a preferring it. Oh no, I'm not saying they are. You know, I haven't... To be completely real, the only Nintendo games I bought recently, outside of Pokemon, is like very little. The Xenoblade series, I've owned 2, 3, and now X. Odyssey, I think I sold. I had, and I think I gave it away. Same with like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I had, but got rid of. Breath of the Wild. And I think that's it. And I'll be honest, I haven't enjoyed the last few Pokemon games. Oh yeah, I'm getting it from Nintendo. But yeah, you know, it's like if you were buying them secondhand. But, you know, I'm not, you know, it's like I saw Mario Brotherhood. I was like, not for me. You know, I haven't owned a Mario game since Odyssey. I didn't even finish Odyssey. I think I sold it and got rid of it. I didn't even finish Breath of the Wild. I got to the final boss fights, I think, and then I stopped. But, you know, it's like, I only use my Switch for Pokemon. I've bought the new hardware, yes. But again, it feels like for the Nintendo specifically, if you want to mod their consoles in the future, you have to get in on the ground floor because they patch it. They did it with the Switch, where it was like, you know, you could only really mod the 2017 ones because after that they patched the method to mod it. So it's like the Switch that I'm playing on now is my 2017 Switch. I'm probably going to end up modding it when the Switch 2 comes out and I've moved all my stuff over. You know, homebrew it because I can. Oh yes, no, 100%. But it's not so much, I don't know if it's so much of a case of they've said so and more so a case of, I understand where you're coming from, right? Like, games have been a certain price for a certain amount of time. Now all of a sudden they've started going up. And it's because the company have said so. But like Assassin's Creed was doing it, Ubisoft was doing it before, right? Where they were charging like $100 or whatever it was for Star Wars Outlaws or something like that. And it's kind of, you know, that was very much got shit on as well. And it kind of, or was it EA? Might have been EA. Was it EA? I don't think it was Ubisoft. But yeah, exactly. But again, you know, I'm fine with people not wanting to buy things, but I also am in the boat of if people want to spend their money, like, just let them get on with it, right? You know, I personally, it's also my view on religion, right? Like, if someone comes screaming and shouting, you must believe in my religion, and they're throwing it in my face, I'm less likely going to believe it or want to share the, you know, want to hear their opinion on it, versus people who just go, look, I believe in this, you know, you're fine to believe what you want to believe. This is my thing, you know. It's like, just let people do what they want to do. It'll only come round to bite them in the arse. You know, again, I make decent money from my job, so I feel like I wouldn't miss that money, so to speak, if for whatever reason it did flop and it was shit and whatever. But I've also got to think of it in terms of, I also stream. So for me, having the hardware that allows it to be better makes more sense versus not. You know, like allowing it to go to 4K, whatever. You know, that for me is more important than the games being the price that they are. And my final thing that I will say on the Switch 2 is that it is backwards compatible, so you don't need to buy any new games. You know, you can use all your old games on the Switch 2. I also, JD, I would counter that with people who do care about the hobby are buying it. Because because if they didn't, no, hold up, let me see if I can figure this out. If they cared about the hobby, they'd want to keep the industry alive, I think, is the point I want to make. Because if the industry dies, then your hobby's gone, right? So let's say the gaming industry went away overnight, you'd lose that hobby. Okay, yes, you'd have all previous games and whatnot, but there wouldn't be anything new coming out. But no, again, but any games are emulated, right? But the problem is that I understand where you're coming from, right? Is that why bother buying anything when someone's just going to hack it? Right? But then you don't own anything anyway, but you have to physically have some hardware to play it on. So your argument is, I'm not going to get the Switch 2, I'm going to get a Steam Deck, or you already have a Steam Deck. And yes, a Steam Deck has more features, but at the end of the day, it is still kind of like on the Steam ecosystem. So Steam might be more prosumer, but they can still, again, not so much if you emulate, hack, whatever, but like if you were just using it as intended, you know, they can still take away Steam games from you even though you've bought them. They can still do all of this stuff even though you've bought it, you know? So in some regards, you're kind of getting it from every angle. See, the problem, not the problem so much that I have with that, JD, but that's a lot of work in my opinion. Because you have to keep track. You have to be looking at all of the devs, right, for games. You then also have to... What happens if the policies change in the future? Because after a certain amount of time, you can't refund the game. So it's like, I had it with Helldivers. I bought Helldivers 2, and then they were like, oh no, we're going to change the policy, and people were trying to mass refund the game, and you just couldn't, because, you know, I'd passed the playtime. You know, and again, that's a change after the fact. That's not something that was made keen on release. But no, you can't do that for games that are online only. Right? But you also don't own it. Steam tell you you don't own it. Steam tell you you're licensing the game. You don't physically own the game. They can take it away from you at any point. You don't own it. You are just licensing the game. I think there was a lawsuit or something where it was made clear. I don't know the specifics. I'm not in this kind of section, you know. I think it's hard to be a Gamerzilla if you're an activist gamer. If you just buy games and play games, it's easy to be a gamer because you just, you know, you have Xbox Game Pass, so you just go on, click a game, play the game. Or, you know, you have Steam, you just play the game. It's when you're in this activist kind of making sure you're sticking it to the game dev, that it's hard. I've never run into any problems being a gamer. I buy stuff, I play stuff I like. If it looks like I'll enjoy it, I'll buy it. That's my view, you know. It's easier to be a gamer. It's harder to be standing for what you believe in as a gamer. You know, it's like, for JD, I imagine it's pretty tough to play the vast, you know, you're being more selective in what you play versus just playing whatever you want to play kind of thing, you know? But that's not to say what JD is doing is wrong. You know, JD is doing what JD believes in. That's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. The only problem I have is the kind of shaming in kind of the how dare I pre-order the Switch 2 because I want to have the hardware. You know, how dare I pay more for a game instead of pirating it. That's what I don't like. You know, why don't I just get a Switch? Why don't I just get a Steam Deck and pirate all the Nintendo games? Because they're going to be on there anyway. I don't want to do that, you know, so I'm not doing that. Does that mean I agree with everything Nintendo is doing? No. Does that mean I agree with the fact that the price of games that Nintendo is selling have gone up? No. You know, I don't like that. Does that mean I agree with the way the industry is going? No, not at all. Does it mean I'm going to stand on the rooftop and scream that I don't like it? No. I'm just going to keep existing and keep doing what I want to do. If I don't want to spend money on a game, I won't buy the game. If I don't like what a company is doing, I won't buy the game. You know? Yes. Oh no, 100%. I don't like the fact that Nintendo are pushing people to more of the digital style of getting games. I will say what I did like with the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement was the fact that digital games were cheaper than physical games, which has always been a gripe for me, that digital games and physical games have been the same price. That's always been a big gripe. You know, in my opinion, they should have never have been the same price because digital games don't have the same overhead as physical games. That's always been something it's always grinded my gears. You know, it's like, oh, the 12-year-old Call of Duty games on Steam are still $40. And yes, okay, they do go on sale, whatever, but I can walk into Smith's or, you know, I can walk into any secondhand game store and get them for like £5. But to own them digitally, it's costing as if they were brand new. But no, again, it's also been a case of, with the way that digital is going, you don't own the games. And that's their kind of loophole. Is that it's like, we'll lease you the games for 1,000 years, whatever the legal terminology is for them, but you don't own them. You know, and again, it was kind of the thing that was brought up with Ubisoft taking the crew offline, is that you might own the game, but you can't play the game unless they keep the servers up to host the game, because it's an online-only game. And I think that is kind of a bit shit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been the way for a really long time that any digital games, you don't legally own them. You have access to them, but they lend them, whatever the terminology is. You don't physically own them. So it's like, you know, my 400 games on Steam. Legally, I don't own them. Yes, I can play them offline. Yes, I can physically download them onto my system. But the license... Oh, no, they license it to you. That's it. Yeah, they license the games to you. You don't own them, they license them to you. Which is completely different. It's a whole nother kettle of fish. Most of the Switch games are used and sometimes damage release. Oh yeah, no, 100%. Paying that money for a flawed product should never been done. You know, it's ridiculous that they charge it. But again, those companies like Walmart, like Game, like Target, they get the games. I think they pay Nintendo for the games, because again, Walmart will take their cut from a sale. Target will take the cut from a sale. So again, everyone has their bit of a pie. So, you know, it is a case of everyone has a bit of the pie. So I don't know if game price increases everyone's take of the pie in physical form versus digital form. Where, you know, all of it goes to the distributor. You know, in the case of Nintendo, it goes to Nintendo. In the case of Xbox, it goes to Microsoft. But no, I personally prefer physical. Wherever I can get physical, I'd get physical. I don't like digital, but, you know, I understand not everyone has that luxury. Physical takes up a lot of space. Digital doesn't, you know? But yeah, paying for damaged products is never a good thing. I mean, also, arguably, paying for unfinished products. You know, Scarlet and Violet for me was rough. I was excited when it was announced. I got the game, and I was kind of disappointed. Legends Arceus kind of did an Uno reverse on that, where I was like, ooh, you know what? It's really good. And I also think it depends on how you go into it. For me, BDSP was told as a faithful remake of Diamond Pearl. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I like that. I'll get that. I pre-ordered them. I'm happy with my purchase. They are what they said they are, which is a faithful remake in a different art style of Diamond and Pearl. Would I have preferred a platinum? Yes. Am I upset that they didn't add more stuff? Not really, because they weren't like, oh, it's going to have megas. You know, that was people getting their hopes up. of like, oh, they're doing a remake, they must add new stuff. They didn't. They expanded the underground, added more Pokemon in, but oh yeah, no, 100%. And again, we've seen it in recent years with the game industry in that Ubisoft and EA have put up their prices. You know, they're charging ridiculous amounts of money for different versions of the game, you know, where you get DLC in the future. It's like games that... It's what I didn't like with Assassin's Creed either, was that it was like AC Shadows had DLC before the game was released, and you could buy the DLC before the game was released. And that, in my opinion, is just really shady practice, because it's like, that should be in the base game. You shouldn't be charging extra for that. But they want to charge, you know, they want more money. And that, I feel like, is why Ubisoft has been going down. And every game has kind of been going live service. And because of Fortnite, every game's been having battle passes. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of battle passes. So, you know, any game that I have that I play that has them, I don't get them. But yeah, it is really, really, really bad. Kind of the way that the game industry has been going. We need to get more money out from people. Also, isn't turning back to Pokemon? Isn't Mega Evolution like the biggest game gimmick as well? I think it's the most popular. No, wrong one. I do think it is the most popular. I think people really did like that gimmick. I think it was one of the more popular ones. You know, I'm not a fan of Dynamaxing. I'm not a fan of Z moves. I didn't think they were bad. But I'm not a fan of like Gigantamaxing, Dynamaxing, Terastallizing. Not a fan of. I think Megas were one of the best. So I understand why it is the most popular. It's the most popular and, yeah, arguably the best. The rest have been kind of meh. But Megas are, yeah. Again, that's why every Pokemon game that's come out, people have been like, are we getting Megas? Oh, are they bringing Megas back? That's why when it was like BDSP remake, oh, we're going to get Mega Evolutions. Because people really like Mega Evolutions, so they want to see Mega Evolutions. But yeah, that's why I think people are looking forward to ZA, is because they're bringing back Megas. I personally prefer the Pokemon games with no gimmicks. You know, the original few ones, you know, up until X and Y. I'm less a fan of the gimmicks. I think I'd be fine without them, but I do think Megas do add an interesting... I think they bring something to the table. But, you know, everyone has their own preferred gimmick. If you call them gimmick, features. Features might be the better word. But yeah. Hey, Black Meadow, how are you doing? Hope your weekend was good. Hope your week is going well. Oh no, yeah, 100%. 100% Zilla. I agree to a degree, you know. I don't think every single Pokemon game that's come out has needed a gimmick. I feel like after Megas, they were like, we can do one big feature that we introduce into every Pokemon game, and that's going to be the thing. But yeah, good shiny hunting and a good gimmick, I think, is what Pokemon games need. Just got off school. Nice. It is that time of day, isn't it? But no, again, shiny hunting for me is kind of a give or take, you know. If it's there, cool. If it's not really there, also cool. You know, it's not the be all or end all for me. Although I don't like the shiny locking. I do think, you know, leave them unlocked, and if people want to unlock, you know, if people want to hunt for them, let them hunt for them. But you know, that is just my way of thinking. Can be different to yours. Got no problem with it, but you know, that's my opinion. Go have breakfast and listen to music. Ooh, Sunset Valley, Tokyo Reggie, and Bezapula. Ooh, nice. Very nice, Mercury. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a good breakfast. We'll see you sometime soon, hopefully. A little nervous when it comes to shiny hunting and ZA. Yeah, my hopes. I had it with Legends, where it was like, you kind of have to wait until the game is out before you get all the info. There will be leaks beforehand, but I think I'm gonna have to wait until release. I think ZA is gonna be, unless the pre-order bonus is really good, I think ZA is gonna be one that I'm gonna hold off on until after release, which is really bad, you know, as a quote-unquote PokeTuber. You know, ideally, you know, I'll be playing, you know, if I was really into it, I'd have pre-ordered it and be playing it midnight when it comes out in New Zealand, because, you know, I'll set my console to New Zealand and means I get to play it early. But I think I don't really care that much for it. What we've seen looks okay, but you know, there's a few bits that I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't know how I feel about it, and kind of go from there. But I also don't want to get spoiled. That's my problem, Black, is I would wait and let wait. But the problem is spoilers. You know, you're not, you know, I do think ZA is going to be, I mean, Pokemon have done pretty good in the last few years with the story. Where they've lacked is gameplay, in my opinion. You know, like Legends. I mean, Legends Arceus was okay gameplay wise. Story wise was pretty good. Sword and Shield I thought was good story wise. It just really lacked in terms of region design and gameplay. Scarlet and Violet, I thought the story was there, but again, the region and the world wasn't, and it was kind of a letdown. Pretty sure there aren't any pre-order bonuses apart from a free plush from the Pokemon Center. I think we have to wait, Zilla. I think I'm going to wait until they announce the Switch 2 version. They've announced that we're getting a Switch 2 version. They haven't announced... if I don't think they've announced the Switch 2 edition pre-orders yet. Try to play ROM hacks. I've tried. I've never had success playing them. Not so much in a case of, oh, I'm really bad at the games. More a case of my thing with ROM hacks is I haven't found the time to sit down and do them. It's like I want to do Infinite Fusions. I want to play more Pokerogue. Wouldn't call that a ROM hack, but you know. I want to play more Pokerogue. There's a couple of really interesting ones that I'm like, oh, it would be cool to try. The only problem comes into effect when you try to, you know, it's a case of I don't want to get in anyone's sights for lawsuits. I mean, you shouldn't, but you know, it's always I'm very much apprehensive in that regard, you know. Again, the thing is, you'll get your product. Whether you're happy with the product, it's a case of you can't ever predict that, even when you buy something. You know, it's like even if I waited 6 months before I bought, you know, Scarlet and Violet, I probably wouldn't have been happy even if I bought it 6 months after the fact. You know, and again, it will be the same thing with the Switch 2. You know, you won't know if you're happy or come out on top until you've got it anyway, and that's be it pre-order or not. But again, you can never tell with pre-orders, and that's the risky business with pre-orders. Pre-orders is very much putting your faith in the company and the product. For the most part, I don't do pre-orders. He says, I've pre-ordered every Pokemon game. I've pre-ordered Xenoblade. I mean, I didn't quite pre-order it, but I pretty much pre-ordered Xenoblade Chronicles X. But again, you know, I played 2. I really enjoyed 2. I pre-ordered 3. I really enjoyed 3. So, you know, it's like, well, I'll get the next game. But, you know, again, everyone, you know, is to each their own. You know, some people swear by pre-ordering games. Me, for the most part, I don't like to do it. I'm very much an apprehensive buyer. But again, you know, you can never tell. Even if you buy something after the fact it's been out and you've seen other people play it, you know, you don't know if you're going to enjoy it to the same degree that they've enjoyed it. So you always take the risk whether you pre-order or not. It just hurts slightly less when, you know, you've got it on sale and you're just like, I don't enjoy it, but you know, I got it for a discount, so you don't feel as bad. But yeah. The way you're looking at it now is you can run DAs and whatever hunt you're doing and just try to be optimistic. Yeah, it's the best way to be. Again, for me, I'm more interested in the hardware upgrades than I am anything else. So for me, I'm like, you know, oh, it's cool that it can do this. It's cool that it can do that. Again, and I also like the idea of being able to do whatever I want with my original Switch. You know, I'm like, oh, cool. Now I don't have to worry so much about jailbreaking, modding it, because I've got one. You know, I've got my new one, so I don't need to I don't need to be scared about homebrewing it. But yeah, being able to do multi hunts is always fun. Continue. Oh man, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to get to I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to 250 in this stream. I think I slowed down after we were talking with JD. You'll be able to SOS hunt on your 2DSs and whatever else on your 3 Switches. Damn, that's insane. Maybe we'll go to 1333. There's 133 resets in this stream. I definitely think I need to get my DSs sorted. Again, I've got like a few DSs to do. Oh, nice. Oh, that's insane. Yeah, I really wanted to do the a DS mod with the controller, where you control it either with one of the DSs or you have it. I really wanted to do that. At the minute, you know, I play my consoles with my own hands. You know, that's why I only dual hunt, because I only have one set. I only have two hands, so I do one on each console. I'd very much like to be able to do more. Hence why I'm really excited to get the Switch, my GameCube setup going. Yeah, that's true. Although that being said, my GameCube ones that I've just bought for the GameCubes cost $25 for what did I spend? I spent $100 to do 2. But that's with the receiver chip plus 2 of the downplay receivers, you know. One upload receiver, 2 download receivers. Which was cheaper than buying 2 Wavebirds with the Wavebird adapters. I spent £150 on Wavebirds and receivers. And I'm thinking, well, no, I am selling them so I can get the mod done because it is cheaper. But no, what mod did you get, Zilla? What? Oh, sorry. Do you remember where you bought it from? Did you get, like, I was looking at I got my GameCube one from ID Gadget. And I'm quite happy with that, actually. They came quite quickly. Well, they've already shipped. So they should be here, I'm hoping, by the end of the week. Although, arguably, I understand that it's probably not going to be super quick because of the way that, you know, air travel works. It's probably going to go through, like, 3 different countries before it gets to me. $14.14. But no, I was thinking of maybe getting more into the modding scenes. You spent $200, had a guy install the parts, you paid extra $50 for the controller. Ah. Oh no, that's fine, Zilla. I was just curious if you knew. No, getting someone else to do it is definitely more expensive than doing it yourself. But I understand that it's not for everyone. I understand that people, you know, it is a nerve-wracking thing to take apart your own thing and figure that out. Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, but again, I am quite tech savvy. I'm quite hands-on, so, you know, I just preferred to do it myself versus paying someone to do it. And I mean, my GameCubes have turned out fine. My DS has definitely needed a bit of work. And I'm looking to finish the GameCubes off quite nicely. Yeah, again, I have the added benefit of working with solderers and all of that for my job. So for me, it's not as big of a concern versus, you know, someone who doesn't handle it and it's like, oh, you have to take apart a console and you have to, attach this here. Again, people on videos make them look ridiculously easy sometimes, where they're just like, yep, you just attach this to this, that to that, and it's easy as that. It's like, well, you know, when you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to figure it out, it is a bit rough. Alright, we're going to go 2 more Palkia. 3 more Tepig. We're gonna end Palkia on 1420. And we're gonna go to 1333 on Tepig. Ooh, 2 females back to back. Yeah, so the next stream will be Thursday, where, funnily enough, I think I'll be doing more of this. No, I will be doing more of this. I want to try and get a push to 15k. 1,500 checks for Tepig. We're just going to leave this playing on the Palkia side of things. But yeah. And then Friday, Mystery Dungeon as well. Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do, Zilla. That's the smart thing to do. And get yourself... That's what I always used to do. Alright, last Tepig for the evening. And then I'm going to go and get ready for sleeps. So then I can chill tomorrow. Be back Thursday doing more of this. See what we get. Will this one be shiny? That'll be nice. End the stream on a shiny. I doubt it, though. Damn, the negativity got to me. Should have been more positive. But no, 130 resets in this stream. 133 resets in this stream. Pretty good. Anyway, though, that is me done. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have an amazing Wednesday, Thursday. I will... ooh, nice, Zilla. I will be back on Thursday. I'll be back on Thursday with more of this. Hopefully, we'll encounter a shiny then. But if not, we don't. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today and hanging out with me this evening and listening to my inherent rambling. I much appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all then. But if not, that's perfectly fine. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Goodbye.